Be that guy. Be the one who keeps moving when others stop and choose comfort. While many people are busy making excuses, you choose discipline and responsibility. While others wait for the perfect time, you realize that timing is never perfect, so you create it with action, not hope. Be that guy who doesn't talk much, but lets the results speak for themselves. Who arrives early when others are still hesitant, leaves late when others have given up, and remains consistent even when no one is watching or caring. Not for praise, but because you know who you are, what your values are, and where you want to go. Be that guy who stays focused when the world is full of distractions and noise, who can postpone immediate gratification for a bigger long-term goal, who chooses the pain of the process and practice, rather than the lifelong regret of quitting too soon. There will be days when you're exhausted, physically and mentally. There will be days when you want to give up, question everything, and feel inadequate. But be that guy who keeps standing and moving forward, not because everything is easy, but because you refuse to let your weakness determine the end of your story. Not everyone will understand the path you choose. Not everyone will support your steps, and some will even look down on you. And that's okay, because you weren't created to please everyone. You were created to be the best version of yourself. Be that guy who gets up without needing to be saved by anyone, who improves their life without waiting for pity, false motivation, or external validation, who dares to take full responsibility for their failures, learn from them, and never run from the consequences of their own life choices. There are phases where results aren't yet visible, even though your efforts have surpassed exhaustion. At that point, many people give up because they feel futile. But be that guy who keeps going, because you understand that the process always comes first before the results dare to surface. Be that guy who remains humble as they begin to grow, who doesn't forget where they started and isn't intoxicated by temporary achievements. Because you know arrogance destroys more dreams than failure. You will also be tested by small choices every day, between discipline or procrastination, between focus or distraction. And you know your life today is the result of small choices you made when no one forced you. Being that guy means being willing to walk alone for longer, being willing to be misunderstood, being willing to be underestimated, but also being ready to be proof that consistent hard work always finds its way. At some point, you'll realize there were no cheers at the beginning of the journey. There was no applause when you chose to change. But it's precisely in that silence that your mental forging and your character building is uncompromising. And when life starts demanding the best of you, you won't panic, because you've been training yourself long before that moment comes. You're not hoping for luck, you're ready. One day when the results start to show, people will ask how. They don't see the lonely nights you've endured, the doubts you've harbored, and the pain you've faced alone. They only see the end result, not the long process that shaped you. And at that point, you don't need to explain anything, because your life already answers it. Be that guy, not because the path is easy, but because only a few are strong enough to choose it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe Dark Motivation. See you in the next video.